Hi there, and welcome to Twitter Basics for Business. During the course of this digital workshop, you will learn the ins and outs of how to use Twitter to market your business. In this segment, we're going to cover the basics. We want to cover exactly what Twitter is, how it's meant to be used, and how it differs from other popular social networks. We'll cover the common Twitter terms you'll see and use as you participate and market your business on Twitter. And finally, we'll talk about how to set goals to be successful on Twitter. So what is Twitter? Twitter is a social networking forum that allows users to communicate with one another and across the globe using short messages called tweets. Twitter only supports messages that are 140 characters or less, so again, communication is generally quick and to the point. Businesses use Twitter to generate awareness, word of mouth, and to engage with their customers and followers. Now, before we get too far, let's go over some of the common Twitter terms you'll come across as you start working with the platform. Starting with a tweet. Any message posted to Twitter is called a tweet. Users can also use the term as a verb. For example, if I said to a coworker, "1 second, let me tweet out this promotion quick." A handle is used to describe a username on Twitter. The name you go by is your handle. To engage with a specific user, handles must have an @ symbol in front of it. See the example for Stellar Blue. This is our Twitter handle. Any word or phrase immediately preceded by the # or hashtag symbol creates a hashtag. When you click on a hashtag, you are given every tweet that has ever used that same hashtag. We'll talk more about hashtags, how they work, and how to use them to increase your reach and promote an event later on in this Twitter series. You can communicate directly with any user publicly through a public tweet using their handle. Remember, a Twitter handle is a username preceded by the @ symbol. This is called a mention. Mentioning another user sends that user a notification so they know somebody is speaking to them or about them. Users can share another user's original tweet. This is called a retweet, often abbreviated to just RT. Retweets share that original tweet to your timeline and to all of your followers. A modified tweet, often abbreviated to just MT, allows users to share another user's original tweet, but modify the tweet slightly to include your own comment or hashtag. A direct message, often abbreviated to DM, allows users to communicate privately on Twitter. Your profile picture is the icon that identifies you and follows your activity as you engage across Twitter. Your cover image is seen on the very top of your profile and is the place to really show off your brand personality. A user can subscribe to another user's tweets by following that user. Users can also subscribe to your tweets by following you. Users can organize and segment the people they follow into lists. Lists can be customized to your needs. This means you can segment by clients, leads, potential leads, influencers, community members, staff, geographic location, or however it works for your company and your goals. Now that we've covered some of the common terms in the Twitter glossary, it's important to think about why you want to be on Twitter before you go any further. Decide what you want to use Twitter to do for your brand. There are many objectives you could have here, and there really is no wrong answer. But having a clear goal and purpose in mind for participating will help to focus your content planning as you move forward and grow. Ask yourself, are you using Twitter for brand awareness or reach? Are you looking to generate more traffic to your website or blog? Maybe you're using Twitter to serve as an additional outlet for customer service inquiries. Chances are you might have more than one goal, and that's good. But remember, your goals will affect how you plan your content moving forward. Alright, now that we've covered the basics, including Twitter terms, how Twitter works, and how to set goals for Twitter success, let's take a short quiz to test how well you understand the basics. This 4-question quiz, including both true or false and multiple choice questions, will help test how well you understand the basics of Twitter. Having a good understanding of the very basics will help your understanding as your knowledge of the platform grows. Question 1 is multiple choice. How many characters make up a single tweet? A. 230, B. 500, C. 140, or D. 300? The answer to question number 1 is C. 140 characters is what makes up a single tweet. Question number 2 is true or false. Any word or phrase preceded by the pound sign or hashtag symbol is called a Twitter handle. The answer to question number 2 is false. Any word or phrase preceded by a hashtag or pound sign is known as a hashtag. A Twitter handle is used to describe a username on Twitter. Question number 3 is multiple choice. A blank is how users can communicate privately with other users or groups of users. Is it A, a hashtag, B, a direct message, C, a mention, or D, a tweet? The answer to question number 3 is B, a direct message. A direct message is how users can communicate privately with other users or groups of users. Question number 4 is true or false. You can modify somebody else's tweet to include your own content. This is known as a modified tweet. The answer to question number 4 is true. You can modify somebody else's original tweet to include your own comment, message, or even a hashtag. This is known as a modified tweet. There you have it. How did you do? If you need to refresh, simply go back through and review this segment for any terms you may have forgotten. Make sure to join us in our next segment, where we will walk you through how to set up and optimize your very own account, how to follow quality users and build your own audience of followers, and how to use some of the different Twitter features to enhance your communications. Hi there, and welcome back to Twitter Basics for Business. If you're coming from the first segment, you've learned so far all about the very basics about what Twitter is, what terms you'll be using while you participate on Twitter, and finally how to set goals to be successful. In this segment, we will walk through the steps to setting up your very own account, how to best optimize your account for search and branding, and how to grow your network both by finding users to follow and promoting users to follow you. So let's get to it. Once you're ready to create your own Twitter account, head over to twitter.com/signup. You'll be taken to this page. From here, the first thing you're going to want to do is choose what email address you want to use for your login. Keep in mind that if you have multiple people tweeting on behalf of your brand, you may want to consider using a general team email such as info@ or social media@. This way, your entire team can assist you in monitoring the emails and notifications coming from the activity on your account. For this example, however, I'm just going to use my personal Stellar email address, since nobody at the company really needs to see my example notifications today. Next, you'll want to pick your name. In some cases, especially if you're using Twitter as another platform for customer service, you may want your brand advocate's first name included in the Twitter handle to keep it a little bit more personable. However, if this Twitter account will be used for just general branding communications, keep it consistent with your brand. Type in your company name where it says full name. Next, you'll want to pick a password, and most importantly, you'll want to document that password in a very safe place. Then you'll have to choose a username or Twitter handle. If you remember back in the first segment, your Twitter handle is how people connect with you and recognize your brand across Twitter. So you'll want to make sure whatever handle you choose makes sense and is consistent with your brand identity. Keep in mind also that tweets only support 140 characters, so the shorter your handle, the more likely people will be able to mention you in their tweets. If your desired handle is taken, do your best to create a variation that still represents your brand. You may consider adding location or maybe even date established to your handle to make it unique to you. Once you've completed the sign-up process, Twitter will take you through a series of tutorial items and questions to get you more acquainted with their platform and better tailor your experience to your needs and preferences. The first area of personalization asks about your interests. As it pertains to you as a business, you'll want to choose the options that best fit your industry and your business. For this example, I've picked a few boxes to just get an idea of how this information affects our individual Twitter experience. Once you've selected the boxes that are relevant to your brand, click Continue. Next, you'll be taken to this page that gives you suggestions of users to follow. Generally, many of the suggestions shown here will be influential users within the interest categories you chose in the previous step. Browse through these accounts and follow those that interest you and that are relevant to your brand. We'll get a little bit more in depth on identifying influencers in your industry a little bit later on, but many of these suggestions will provide you with helpful, insightful, interesting, and entertaining content to get you started. You can go through one by one and choose which accounts you'd like to follow, or you can simply just select Follow All and Continue. Finally, we're taken to this page, where you can begin to optimize your profile to best represent your brand. The first step to customizing your profile is choosing a profile picture. It's recommended to upload a profile picture at 400 pixels tall by 400 pixels wide. It's also important that your profile picture clearly identifies your brand as you. Your profile picture, along with your handle, is what follows your activity as you participate across Twitter. Having a profile image that can easily and quickly be identified back to your brand is essential for establishing an effective presence and voice on Twitter. Take a look at one of Stellar Blue's recent profile pictures. As you can see, our logo has been modified slightly to fit nicely in a perfectly square image, and our name can be seen clearly even when displayed as a tiny icon in a newsfeed. Finally, don't be afraid to switch up your image once in a while. For this example, the bright orange caught attention because it was bright, fresh, and new, yet still holds the integrity of our brand intact, and that's the main goal. Step 5 gives you the option to import your contacts so that you can quickly and easily find people you already know who may already be on Twitter. You can upload email contacts from AOL, Gmail, Outlook, and Yahoo. If you don't wish to import your contacts quite yet, simply click Skip this step. Finally, we are taken to our main home screen. Now that your account is active, as long as you're logged in, this will be what you see every time you go to twitter.com. Before we go any further, you'll want to confirm your email address. Head over to the email you used to set up your account and look for an email from Twitter asking to confirm your account. Open the email and click Confirm. Once you've confirmed your email and account, you'll be directed back to your home feed. Let's take just a minute and go through some of Twitter's main features right here. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see some navigational options. The first being your home feed, which is where we are right now. Next, you'll see notifications. Anytime someone mentions you in a tweet, engages your content, or follows you, you'll see a notification alert on this icon. The next icon are your direct messages. If you remember back from the previous segment, you can communicate privately with other users right here. If you have a new message, you'll see a message alert on this icon. The next icon you see is the pound sign, or in Twitter world, the hashtag. You'll see along the left-hand side of your screen here are more suggestions of who to follow. This box will update and refresh with the accounts Twitter thinks you might find quality to follow based on your interests and other users you have already followed. Scrolling down just a bit, you'll see trends also along the left-hand side. Now these trends are based off of topics and hashtags that are popular at the time. Again, this area will update in real time as conversations happen. You can also change what trends you see here based on your location. Go ahead and click Change. The next option asks if you would like to keep the tailored trends or change them. For the example, we'll click Change. Now, our nearest location happens to be Milwaukee. If we start searching for closer areas, Appleton, no results. Neenah, no results. So unfortunately in our situation, we have to stick with our most recent location, which happens to be Milwaukee. Now from here, Twitter asks if you would again like to keep your tailored trends or if you would like to go with the option that you just chose. From here, click Done. Now, as you can see, our trends may have changed a bit based on what might be trending a little bit closer to home. Now let's take a look at our news feed. You'll see that this news feed updates in real time with all of the tweets that we've subscribed to by following other users on Twitter. Every time someone we follow tweets a message, you can see that tweet in your news feed right here. Now, if you want to send a tweet right away, there are a couple of ways to start. First, you'll see right above your news feed, you'll see that Twitter asks, "What's happening?" By clicking inside the box, you can begin composing your tweet. As you can see with the tweet I just pasted in, I'm saying happy to be on Twitter, #TwitterNewbie. As you can see, I've put the @ symbol in front of the word Twitter. This means that Twitter would be notified that I'm using them in my tweet or mentioning them in my tweet. And by putting the # or hashtag symbol in front of Twitter Newbie, I'm categorizing this as a hashtag. I can also from here add a photo, and I can even add a location. The other way to start composing your first tweet is by going up in the upper right-hand corner and seeing this tweet box. By clicking on it, you prompt open the Compose New Tweet box. Same goes with this way, you can add a photo, and if you have location enabled, you can add a location as well. From here, simply click Tweet. Now that we can navigate the main features of Twitter, let's take a look at our account settings and view our own profile. Located in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see your profile picture icon. Clicking on it will give you a drop-down. Select View Profile. This is where you'll be able to see your profile how the public sees it. If you've already chosen a profile or cover image, you'll see them prominently displayed here. As well as below, you'll see any tweets you've published in chronological order. Now, because we have not yet published a tweet, Twitter does us a favor and generates a few tweet options for us to use. For this example, I'm going to tweet out one of these examples just so we can see how it lays in our timeline. As you can see, now this tweet is seen here, right in our timeline. And we've also started, if I refresh my page, we've started a tweets counter. Next, we want to start optimizing our profile even more for best search potential, awareness, and branding. Over on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see an option to edit your profile. By clicking this option, Twitter enters into edit mode. From here, you can edit your profile picture and cover image. But today, we really want to focus on our bio, location, and website. Start first with your website. This is very important, especially if one of your main goals for using Twitter is to drive traffic back to your website. Twitter can be a great platform for driving traffic, but you have to have the components in place first. And if you build it, they will come attitude will just not fly here. Adding your location in many cases is easy. However, if you have multiple locations, you may consider your main headquarter office to be listed here. Also keep in mind that if you have other social networks out there, do your best to keep your contact information consistent. Google pays attention to consistency across networks when determining how relevant and credible your presence or profile is. The more consistency with your address, phone number, and website, the better. Last, but certainly not least, is your bio. It's really important to craft a unique, catchy, and representative bio for your brand. Consider keywords and hashtags. Also consider your target market and your purpose for using Twitter. Check out Stellar Blue's bio. It clearly says who we are, what we do, and who we do it for, while calling out keywords to make our profile easily found in searches. When you've made the changes that you wish to your account, and everything is the way that you want it, go ahead and click Save Changes. Lastly, Let's go over some account settings to make your Twitter experience even better for you and your preferences. Head over to the upper right-hand corner of your screen and click on your profile picture icon. In the drop-down, select Settings. The first set of account settings allow you to adjust your language preference and time zone, as well as set sensitivity filters and translation options. This is also where you can deactivate your account if you ever wish to do so. Security and privacy features allow you to set login verification prompts so that you're notified if someone tries logging into your account. You can also adjust tweet privacy settings, such as setting your tweets to private. This means that unless somebody follows you, they cannot see your tweets. This is where you can allow location to be added to your tweets, as well as adjust photo tagging abilities. Other preferences that can be set allow you to be found by email address and allowing Twitter to tailor tweets based on website visits. All of these settings will be personal and individual preference. Also found under your Settings tab is where you can manage your password, manage your card information, look at recent orders for advertising. You also have email notification preferences, web notification preferences, where you can mute or block accounts, and look at different widgets and apps that you may have added to your Twitter account. All right, you have successfully set up and optimized your very own Twitter account to start marketing your business. Go ahead and give yourself a good pat on the back, because taking the leap to start something new can sometimes be half the battle.